Could Social Security be getting a massive overhaul? The system millions of Americans count on after they stop working is facing serious challenges. Now, President Trump says he's looking into a retirement model used by the Australian government. Now, to break this all down, we're going to bring in our chief business correspondent, Taylor Young, joining us now. Now, Taylor, this does seem like a pretty big deal. What exactly is this model?
Yeah, so this would be quite the shakeup, considering the U.S. Social Security system has been in place since the 1930s.
Right.
But as we know, it's not sustainable as it is right now, and it's at risk of falling short really within the next couple of years for future retirees. So that's why we're seeing Washington kind of look outside of the U.S. for inspiration to see what's kind of going on in other countries. And Trump is eyeing the Australian method right now. So what does this method actually mean? Well, it essentially forces employers, aka the private sector, to fund your retirement rather than that burden falling on you. So for the Australians, experts say it's turned out to be quite successful. Under their system, employers must pay the equivalent of 12% of your pay to your retirement savings. And here's the thing, that 12% would not come out of your paycheck. It's paid on top of your wages. That money is then managed by professional investors and regulated by the government. Once you reach retirement age, it's all yours. So just an example of this. So if you were to make $50,000 a year, your employer would then have to contribute $12,000 onto your retirement. So this would be a big shift.
Sounds like a great deal for workers, but I'm sure for employers it's a little bit different. How does this look like this would impact them right now?
Yeah, this again would be a big shift because right now in the U.S., companies essentially match your Social Security contribution. So we pay, us workers, 6.2% into Social Security. Our employer matches that, 6.2 equaling 12.4%. Under this new system, though, we would not have to contribute anything. That would all be coming from the employer, which would, of course, for many companies, that would be a lot more money that they would have to shell out on top of wages. And there would be a benefit to this, though. So that 12% would be a tax deductible. So you would be able to write that off. But there are concerns that this would increase labor costs, especially for small businesses who operate on tighter margins. So there are pros to this, but there's also concerns to how it would actually impact companies.
Potentially incentivizing fewer employees.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. So how likely is this Australian model to be implemented here?
So we're in the very beginning stages. Okay. It's just an idea, but this would likely not happen in the near future because this would take a lot of government bodies to be on board with this, with the Congress really being the final say. They'd have to agree. And of course, this would also be a huge overhaul, as we know. So this is not something that would just roll out overnight, even if it were to be kind of agreed upon. So yeah, that right now this is more of an idea, but I think the fact that this conversation is happening shows that there is growing concern. We've talked about Social Security multiple times up here, the age of retirement being pushed back, payments being lowered to 80% starting in just 8 years for recipients. So this is a topic that Washington is looking at, it has been looking at, and this is just an idea that has been thrown out.
Yeah, got to look at all available options.
And we will absolutely be following this topic as it keeps moving forward.
Yeah, we'll count on that, Taylor. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.